At Cal Poly, certain majors will need to take IME 144, Introduction to Design and Manufacturing, or IME 143, Manufacturing Processes, Materials Removal. These majors include Industrial Engineering, Manufacturing Engineering, Materials Engineering, Aerospace Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering. For some first-year students, coming to college and getting right into working with loud machinery can be terrifying. However, going into these types of classes with some prior knowledge can make a major difference in your confidence level and get you ready to get into the lab and learn by doing. In the following few minutes, we will explain the basic aspects of the lathe, including the most important parts on the lathe and some crucial machinery terms. We will explain the importance of lab safety and what steps you can take to ensure your own safety and the safety of those around you. Additionally, we will show you how to operate the lathe and be able to actually make a part. You will also get to see some of the amazing projects you will be able to make by the end of the quarter. The lathe is one of the oldest machining tools. It operates by spinning a cylindrical piece of metal at a high speed and bringing a hard cutting tool to the edge of the piece. On the lathe, there are two basic operations. One of these operations is turning. Turning involves taking a material off the outside of the part in order to reduce the diameter. Facing, on the other hand, involves cutting material off the top of the part in order to change the length of the part. These processes will be explained in more detail later on. There are several key parts of the machine that are essential to working on the lathe. The first part to be familiar with is the chuck. This is the part that holds the piece and spins. It can be found on the left-hand side of the machine. With the chuck, it is essential to ensure that the part is secured tightly. Failing to do so could result in damage to the part and machine, or even your own body. To insert or remove parts from the chuck, you will use a piece called the chuck key. To find it, look in the tool rack. The chuck key is the T-shaped tool and can be inserted into the hole on the chuck. Make sure to hold on once the tool is inserted. The spring is there to make sure that you won't accidentally leave the tool in the chuck and will cause the chuck key to fall out easily. Another part of the lathe that is key to being able to use the machine properly is the tool holder. The tool holder, as the name implies, holds the cutting tool steadily in place and can be moved in two directions. By rotating the carriage hand wheel, you can move the cutting tool to the left and to the right. By rotating the cross slide, you are able to move the cutting tool into and out of the spinning part. For the most basic parts, you only need to use one of these movements at a time and will not have to use both simultaneously. While in the machine shop, safety is of the utmost importance. If someone does not follow standard safety protocol, it not only puts their own bodies in danger, but also everyone around them. You must wear safety glasses or some sort of protective goggles at all times while in the shop. This applies regardless whether you are using the machines or not. Regular glasses are not sufficient and can even potentially lead to a more dangerous situation if the glass were to shatter upon impact. Be sure to wear closed-toed shoes that cover the entire foot. While in the shop, you and those around you will be working with heavy parts. The grease on those parts helps to make them run smoothly, but also make them slippery and tough to hold onto. Do not wear loose clothing, jewelry, neckties, watches, or clothing with strings that could become caught in the machinery. Roll up your long sleeves, remove anything dangling, and you're good to go. If you have it, long hair should be tied back before entering the shop. This ensures that it will not get caught in any moving parts. Remember, while in the lab, your own safety should be your primary concern. No one can look out for you better than you can. Always be on the lookout for potentially dangerous situations, and your work will go much more smoothly. When using the lathe, you must abide by all the safety regulations we discussed. Before you begin, you must follow the lathe maintenance checklist. You must complete the checklist before using the lathe. Not doing so could cause the machine to malfunction and be a hazard for everyone in the vicinity. Inserting the cutting tool. After you've completed the checklist, you must select the right tool you wish to use. In the introductory IME courses, you are solely introduced to the facing and turning tools. For the turning tool, make sure that the sharp edge of the blade faces the chuck, which once again is the spinning part of the lathe. For facing, use the tool with the sharpened blade that faces the piece you are working on. After you insert the tool, you must secure it. To secure it, you must use the largest Allen wrench located in your tool rack on your right top corner. Tighten the tool performing a clockwise spin. If you have trouble remembering what direction to spin, remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. After you have secured your tool, we now move on to preparing the part you are turning. To make a cut, you must zero out your tool. To do this, you approach the tool into the workpiece using the carriage and the crossfeed. That will be your 0 point. Make sure to adjust the dial to 0 so you know where to begin. After you have adjusted your dial, you can back off the tool and start cutting. Using the crossfeed, you can adjust the diameter you wish to cut using your dial as a reference. After you have set the length you wish to cut, you move on to powering on the machine. The lathe has different speed settings that you can choose from depending on the material you are using and the kind of finishing that you would like on your workpiece. For the introductory IME courses, you use default speeds. On your left bottom corner, you will find the power on button. Remember to do a final check to see that there are no tools and that your workplace is clean and there are no chips lying around that could derail the carriage or cause a malfunction. After you power on the lathe, you use the carriage to cut the desired length. You may cut at any desired speed depending on the type of finish you wish to obtain. Cutting slower will give you a more fine finish, versus faster will give you a rough finish. After you have finished your cut, bring the tool back out using the carriage and the crossfeed. Be careful when you back off, as it may make additional cuts you may not want if both the carriage and the crossfeed aren't backed off simultaneously. Repeat this process to make any additional cuts using the turning tool. When you are finished, be sure to clean all chips in your station using the brush located in the tool rack on your right top corner. When you are finished using the turning tool, you use the chuck key to loosen the cutting tool and take it out. Similarly, for facing, you use the facing tool located in the tool rack on your top left corner and secure it using the chuck key. After you power on the lathe, you use the carriage to cut the desired length. Repeat this process to make any additional cuts using the facing tool. When you are finished using the facing tool, you use the chuck key to loosen the cutting tool and take it out. When you are finished, be sure to clean all chips in your station using the brush located in the tool rack on your top right corner. Review. Follow all the safety guidelines. Follow the lathe maintenance checklist. Keep track of all your tools.
That's all, folks.